Hello everyone, I'm going to show how I do fried tofu. Now, if you live near an Asian market, you can buy fried tofu already prepared, okay, already fried. But I do it my way. I like the way it comes out. It's fresher than in the package, things like that. Now, to start off with, don't use soft tofu. Okay, this is for frying purposes. You want either medium or the hard tofu. I use the medium because I like the consistency. You can use the hard if you want, but don't use soft because it's not going to come out right. Now, first thing we want to do is I drained off the liquid that the tofu comes in, and I'm going to cut it about 1 inch. Okay, that's probably 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch, somewhere around there. So I do that. Another one here. Another one here. Now what I do is I can take that and I go 1 inch this way. So and these are going to be a little bit bigger on the end. I'll turn this and cut it down the middle. So this is what we have. Now you can use the whole thing if you want, but this is what I'm calling for because I'm going to use this in another recipe. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 pieces out of there. Depends on how you cook it, how you want it. I like it about mouth size, or a little bit bigger than mouth size. Now, in Chinese cooking, they don't really dredge in flour. They dredge in cornstarch. It gives a different consistency to the outer part of when you fry it. So I like the consistency of cornstarch. Of course, you're free to do whatever you want, but this is the way I do it, and I find that this works best. So I have the cornstarch ready for doing the dredging. Now I'm going to take a little break because I have to get the stove ready with the pan. I'm not using a wok. You can use a wok, but I'm going to use a pan and get it heated up with the oil, because it doesn't take long to go from the board to the dredging to the frying pan. I'll get back to you. Okay, I now have my lovely assistant.
Hello, I'm John Gaynor, Philip's son.
Okay, now he's going to help me dredge this. So we're going to put this in here, and you're going to, John, you're going to
coat it.
Coat it.
Okay.
Right now. Right now.
Cover it in flour, you mean?
Yes.
No, that's a cornstarch.
And
it's cornstarch.
Like
okay?
this.
All right, make sure you get all over, a nice thick coating, because it's not on the bottom. Okay.
Perfect. Now just.
And when you finish, you put it over there. Okay.
Perfect. That's 1.
Okay.
2.
Okay, and while we're doing this, we're heating up the oil in the frying pan. Now, I don't measure it out. I just make a nice amount of oil in the bottom of the pan. It's more than a couple tablespoons. It's probably like 10 tablespoons. But I don't measure it out. I just want to put it in the bottom of the pan.
There we
So
go.
we have this.
I'm getting a few spots. And there. Another one.
And of course, you see, I put a lot. I don't measure out the cornstarch because it's for dredging. It's sort of like when you do dredging in flour. You don't really measure it out because flour, cornstarch is a relatively inexpensive item that we can throw away any unused. Of course, you don't want to go overboard, and I can tell I'm probably going to need a little bit more because I'm also going to be using this for another recipe later, and that's for fried oysters. Okay, so this won't go to waste.
There we go. That's another one.
Okay.
And here's another one that's trying to hide.
Okay, I'll get back to you after we're finished here, and we go over to the oil.
Now I'm ready.
Now for the next part, I'm going to put it in the oil. I can tell the oil is smoking, so that means it's ready. And I'm going to do this part because I don't want my assistant to get burned.
Yep. I do not want to get burned on my arm, or I'm going to become roasted chicken.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, but I also like some other foods that my daddy makes, such as pita bread and crepes.
Thank you. So we put this in. I don't want to crowd it, so I'm going to do it in batches. And you can see how much oil I have in there. It coats almost half the amount. So you let it in there, and it doesn't have to be that long, but you want it to be a little on the brown side when it comes out, right, John?
Yeah, and I have these tongs for it to flip it.
Okay, and we can use the tongs to check the other side, but I can tell, well, that one's turning brown, so yeah. There we go.
Looks like marshmallow.
I think get a plate now for the finished product.
I'll get the plate.
Anyway, it's been in maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and we have a paper towel set aside for when we set it on. Okay, now I can feel from the texture that it has a hard crust, and that's what you're looking for. It will soften a little bit, but you want that hard crust. And you can see how it looks. Not hard to do. And I'm going to do the next batch, and I'll get back to you. So here's the finished product of the fried tofu. It has a nice crust on it, and follow along for a future recipe where I showed how to bake roast pork in the previous video. I'm showing how to do fried tofu in this video, and I'm going to show how to make a clay pot recipe, so please follow along. Have a good day, everyone.